Welcome to The Explainer. Listen, if you're a Turkish medical device company, you really need to be paying attention to Peru. Today, we're laying out a complete strategic roadmap to this incredibly dynamic market, from its surprising size to the critical regulatory doors you have to unlock.
Okay, let's just jump right in. That number you're looking at? $6.02 billion. That's the projection for Peru's medical device market by 2033. It's not just big, it's growing at this explosive rate of over 11% a year.
And this is where the real opportunity is. Take a look at this breakdown. A massive 97% of all medical devices in Peru are imported. With almost no local production, the market isn't just open for international companies, it's practically rolling out the red carpet.
But hold on, getting in isn't as simple as just shipping your products over. There's a gatekeeper, a regulatory body called DIGEMID. And this explainer, think of it as your key. We're going to unlock that gate together, step by step.
So first things first, let's get the lay of the land. We need to understand what makes the Peruvian healthcare market tick, because, trust me, it operates a little differently than you might expect.
And here's a really key difference. Unlike markets that swing wildly with every political change, Peru's demand is remarkably stable. It's driven by something called infrastructure renewal cycles. Basically, hospitals replace their equipment based on its lifespan, not on who's in office. And for you, that means predictable, consistent demand.
Now, the market is definitely competitive. You can see the big players here. The USA and China are at the top, but this doesn't mean the game is already lost. Not at all. There's a very specific and very powerful strategic position just waiting for Turkish companies to fill.
And this is it. This is your sweet spot. The strategic advantage you can leverage is this perception. European quality at prices that can go head-to-head with China. You're not just selling a product, you're offering this unbeatable mix of quality and value, which is exactly what the Peruvian market is looking for.
Okay, so you've got a fantastic value proposition. Now we have to tackle the biggest hurdle, which is actually the key to your whole strategy, understanding the regulatory authority, DIGEMID.
If you want to sell any medical device in Peru, you need this, the Registro Sanitario, or health registration. It's a mandatory, non-negotiable certificate. And the government body that stands between you and that certificate is DIGEMID. So, how does DIGEMID classify your product? They use this 4-tier risk system you see here. It goes all the way from low-risk Class 1 devices, like wheelchairs, up to very high-risk Class 4 devices, like pacemakers. And the rule is simple. The higher the risk, the more documentation and scrutiny you're going to face.
Now that we know who the players are and the basic rules, let's walk through the actual playbook. This is the exact process for getting your device registered and ready for the Peruvian market.
Here are the 6 core steps. It all starts with classifying your device, then preparing your technical dossier. But I want you to pay very close attention to step 1, appointing a local holder. This sounds simple, but it's a massive strategic decision, and we'll come back to why in just a moment.
And a word of advice, be patient. As you can see from this timeline, low-risk devices can get approved pretty quickly, maybe 2 or 3 months. But for the higher-risk Class 3 and 4 devices, you need to be prepared for a wait. It could be 3 to 6 months, and in some really complex cases, it can take up to a year. So, while the full document list will depend on your device's risk class, these are the absolute essentials you're going to need. Things like your free sales certificate and your ISO 1345 are just the beginning. And I can't stress this enough. All your key documents, especially instructions for the end user, must be professionally translated into Spanish.
All right, let's circle back to that all-important first step, choosing a local partner. This one choice, this single choice, is so critical it can literally make or break your entire business in Peru, and it hides a massive risk that a lot of companies just completely overlook.
Now read this carefully. In Peru, you, the foreign manufacturer, cannot own your product's registration. It is the legal property of your local partner. Just let that sink in. If your relationship with your distributor goes south, they can legally walk away with your access to the market. You'd have to start that entire year-long process all over again.
And this lays out your 2 main options beautifully. You can go with a standard distributor who holds your registration. That's high risk. Or you can partner with an independent firm that acts only as your regulatory holder. This gives you the flexibility to switch commercial distributors whenever you want without ever putting your priceless Registro Sanitario at risk.
Okay, so you've navigated the regulations. You've chosen a smart partnership model. Now what? How do you actually win business and build your brand in Peru?
Winning in Peru is about the whole package. You need that competitive pricing to back up your value proposition. All of your labels and marketing materials have to be in Spanish, and, crucially, providing excellent local after-sales service is often the deciding factor, especially when you're bidding on those big public contracts.
And don't forget the cultural side of things. Business in Peru is built on confianza. That's trust. It's personal, and it takes time. You have to be physically present. Go to the Tecno Salute Trade Fair in Lima. It's the best way to build those relationships and find good partners. And on the operational side, make sure any partner you choose has a certified medical warehouse, a drogodia. It's a legal requirement for importing.
So let's tie this all together. Success in Peru isn't about one magic bullet. It's about executing perfectly on 3 fronts. You need regulatory precision, you need a smart partnership model that protects you, and you need to commit to building real, trust-based relationships in the market.
Which brings us to our final question. The Peruvian market is going to more than double in size. The opportunity is undeniable. So the question is no longer if you should enter Peru, it's how. And as we've just seen, the answer to that question starts and ends with one crucial decision: making the right strategic investment in the right local partner.